Good evening, everybody. It is my honor to welcome you to TAPA's graduation of the class of 2017. I would like everyone to please rise once more as I welcome Janiyah Brown to the stage.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last evening, whose brush stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular
like to welcome our valedictorian, Jeremiah Matos.
We're going to start off with the TAPA pledge. As a student at TAPA, I welcome this day, knowing it is mine to use or waste. I will celebrate this day to its fullest. It will never be mine again. Today I will be honest and fair and responsible for what I say and do. I will try my best. I will follow my dreams. I will make a difference. I am an artist. I am a scholar. I am a star. Now for the regular pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey everyone, this is my valedictorian speech. Okay. Good evening, TAPA staff, family, artists, and scholars. Throughout my years here, I'm sure enough people have heard me speaking on behalf of the student body, so here are my final words. First off, I would like to thank our administration and teachers, advisors, and all those who contributed to help a group of seniors with one of the worst cases of senioritis. You have joked with us and have taken every eye roll that we've thrown at you, and for some reason, you still insisted on helping us get here, and I honestly can't thank you guys enough for that. So. It would have been a lot easier for you guys to just be like, screw you guys, like don't, yeah, all that stuff. Okay. And now my classmates. This is for you. Whew. Okay. Welcome to the best graduation because of this collection of brave and strong students. Open your eyes, everyone, and witness the most socially influential class TAPA has seen yet. We are the start and inspiration for revolutions and protests to come, in which students stand up for something they believe needs to change. We are the start of the trailing dark horse that becomes the leading horse. We are the forgotten, the neglected, yet we are still the ones that persevere. If anyone turned away from us, we took action so you could hear us, not just listen. If anyone told us we weren't ready and moved on to someone else, we'd stand in front of you and prove how much our words did not come from lies and teen arrogance. Our words come from experience and hurt. We are bigger than any problem. We attack issues in the moment with clear minds and big hearts with amazing intentions. I know in my heart that we in the future will fight for the rights of minorities, the LGBT+ community, and the influences that art has in schools. No matter where we go, who we argue with, if we need to fight for something, we'll come together. By coming together, the class of 2017 was able to achieve many great things. In addition to our 4 amazing senior arts performances, they were admitted to dozens of prestigious colleges, improved their SAT scores by an average of over 100 points over the course of the year, and have big plans for after graduation. This is the class of 2017. Thank you for going through this journey with me and inspiring me every day. I really cannot stress enough how much you guys mean to me. And I will be going out of state for college, but I am getting a car. I will be driving the 2 hours every time I want to come down here, and I want to see every one of your beautiful faces. would finally like to thank my family, both blood and non-blood in the audience tonight, for watching me grow into a person I never really thought I could be. Thank you to my sisters, Janisa and Ashley, for teaching me to be strong and sticking up for me. Finally, thank you, Mom, in which I am honoring by wearing her class of 91 tassel right here. Yeah. Oh, you already know. Okay. Thank you all for coming today. Here's to the class of 2017.
Hello, I'm proud to be the head of school, Nancy DeRobio. For those of you that may not have met me yet, I would like to thank all of you for being here for our wonderful class of 2017. We've got board members, family members, our esteemed faculty and staff, and friends of TAPA. I'm here today for a special reason. It's you, the class of 2017. As I stand here, I'm probably experiencing what most of the adults in your life feel today. A desire, a little inner tug to say something that will count in a special way. Deep in our hearts, we know that the best things said come last. People will talk for hours, saying nothing much, and then linger at the door with words that come with a rush from the heart. Doorways, it seems, are where the truth is told. We are all gathered at a doorway today. It's the end of something and the beginning of something else. And my guess is there will be a lot of lingering at the door today, with the hope that one of us will say something that will somehow express what can't be said in words. But the very best things said often slip out completely unheralded and preceded by the words, "Oh, by the way, don't be scared. It's okay to be uncertain." The first thing I want to say is don't be scared. All the giddy excitement you feel and that I feel with you as you graduate, my guess is you're also feeling a little uncertain today. And you're being flung into a world that's running about as smoothly as a car with square wheels. I want you to know that it's okay to be uncertain. I'm uncertain too. In a world like this, it's appropriate to be uncertain. You're young adults in a time when leaders of the world are behaving like children whose demands are not negotiable. Where the central image of our day is a terrorist one. Humane concerns, inhumanely expressed, and where the only response is, this is impotent fury. If you weren't a little uncertain, I'd be nervous for you. You've been preparing yourself all these years, but you're not sure for what. You know what you want to do when you leave school, but you're not entirely sure what it will be like, how it will work out. Some of your classmates don't have any idea what they'll do for the rest of their lives. And that's all right too, because all of you have learned the most important thing that any school could teach you. You've learned to learn. If you feel a little off balance, it's understandable. College, career, and adulthood has come upon you suddenly, and you're not all that sure you're ready for it. As I get older, the only thing that speeds up is time. But as much as it's true that time is a thief, time also leaves something in exchange. With time comes experience. And however uncertain you may be about the rest of the world, at least about your own work, you will be sure. Love your work. And that's something else I want to tell you as we stand in this doorway together today. Love your work. If you always put your heart into everything you do, you really can't lose. If your heart is in it, you'll probably succeed, and if it isn't, you probably won't. So you want to have that heart. I want to tell you everything. I want to squeeze things great and small into the lingering goodbye. I want to tell you to keep laughing. I have a quote from Alan Alda, which inspired me to write this speech. So I'd like you to listen to this. You have to leave the city of your comfort and go into the wilderness of your intuition. You can't get there by bus, only by hard work and risk, and by not quite knowing what you're doing. But what you'll discover will be wonderful. What you'll discover will be yourself. Congratulations to the TAPA graduating class of 2017. And now I have a little gift for you. We have a keynote speaker. She's become a new friend of TAPA. And her name is Laura Martinez Espinel. And she comes from Cuba. She comes as someone, and I'm going to work on my Spanish here, because she's working on her English. She has written here for me that she has licenciado en letras that she received at the University of Havana in 2007. This is the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree in the humanities. She also comes to us with a master's degree in audiovisual production, which she has a Master of Fine Arts in audio and video production, as I said. She has been in the United States. I met her a year ago, and she really made an impression on me. She has recently gotten all of her credentials in order to be able to teach here. She will be teaching at Rhode Island College in a Spanish-Cuban literature course. And she just talked to me a little bit about that, which really got my heart beating at the joy of her being in the United States and feeling free. So I would like to introduce Laura Martinez Espinel.
Buenas tardes. Good evening. Yes. I need to express myself in Spanish, please, and I have to look right here. Me gustaría expresarme en español, así que pienso que tiene. Permítanme ante todo agradecer a Trinity Academy for the Performing Art por honrarme con la oportunidad de hablarles a ustedes esta tarde.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Trinity Academy for the Performing Arts for honoring me with the opportunity to speak to you this evening and allow me to become part of your community.
Yes, lo cual me incorpora de enorme responsabilidad simbólica en su comunidad. Es para mí una enorme responsabilidad intelectual estar aquí con ustedes en este día tan importante.
It's a true responsibility, an intellectual responsibility to be here before you today with such an important responsibility before me.
Y compartir junto a sus familiares un momento tan sagrado que es el cierre de una etapa.
As I spend this very important moment with the families as they reach a milestone in their lives.
Y desde la perspectiva que más me gusta, personalmente, significa la apertura hacia otra nueva etapa.
And the way that I see this moment is an opening to a new stage or a new milestone in your life.
Para intentar corresponder a la generosidad que han tenido conmigo,
To try to correspond to the wonderful generosity that you have shown me.
voy a ofrecerles algunas reflexiones sobre mi vocación en el arte.
I would like to share with you a few reflections of my vocation in the arts.
Pues es gracias a esta que hoy tengo la suerte de estar aquí con ustedes.
Because it is thanks to this opportunity that I have this particular opportunity to speak to you tonight.
En mi caso creo que el punto de arranque de mi vocación fue primero el canto y luego la lectura.
I think the first introduction to what is now my vocation at home was first a song and then literature.
Y luego la escritura y luego el vínculo con la tecnología que tenían estas a través del cine.
then writing, and then of course technology, tying all of them together through cinematography.
Y lo que les quiero decir es que sean todo el tiempo muy curiosos.
What I really want to say to you is to be curious all of the time.
Empecé a cantar cuando tenía como 5 años y siempre digo que es la cosa más importante que me ha sucedido en mi vida.
I began singing around the age of 5, and I always say that this was the most important thing that happened to me.
Porque recuerdo que yo era así más o menos.
So I remember being very little,
Y tuvieron que ponerme una caja para poder llegar al micrófono.
and they had to put a box by the podium so that I can actually reach the microphone.
Luego a los 10 años por primera vez canté con una orquesta sinfónica.
And then at the age of 10, I had the opportunity to sing with a symphony
En un festival de canciones infantiles que en Cuba se hace muchísimo.
at a children's song festival that is something that happens in Cuba a lot.
Luego seguí cantando mucho. De hecho, el último concierto fue una semana antes de venir hacia Estados Unidos y una semana después, estando en Estados Unidos, ya estaba cantando.
So I continued to sing for many years up into, I think my last concert in Cuba was the week before I came to the United States, and then a week after I arrived at the United States, I was already singing.
Definitivamente es mi vocación número 1.
Definitely it is my number one vocation.
Por otra parte, la primera lectura que recuerdo como algo extraordinario
Thinking about literature, the first one that I recall
es también como un chiste. O sea, suena también como un chiste porque era un libro, en este caso, más grande que yo, como 30 por 40.
And I remember this story as a funny one because the first introduction to literature was through a book that was a lot bigger than myself.
Las obras completas de Hans Christian Andersen.
It was the complete works of Hans Christian Andersen.
La lectura siempre fue para mí la posibilidad de trasladarme hacia otros lugares.
Literature was a way for me to travel to different places.
A través de la ilusión que la ficción inocula, exactamente en otro tiempo, la posibilidad de protagonizar otras vidas.
Through the worlds that are created through fiction and being able to protagonize different extraordinary situations.
Y la curiosidad sobre todo por conocer otros lugares.
And of course, it struck me with it struck curiosity within me to learn about other places.
Estando aquí me doy cuenta de que tienen el honor de compartir con muchas comunidades alrededor.
Being here, I realized that you have the ability to fellowship with many different communities.
Que conviven con ustedes en un mismo espacio y esto nunca lo tuve de niña.
That you are able to work side by side with people of many different cultures and communities. I never had that opportunity as a child.
El segundo punto de arranque de mi segunda necesidad, de apetito, fue manifestado además de la lectura, fue en la escritura.
My second hunger for the arts, for a desire, was manifested by writing.
Y recuerdo que lo que hacía era que alargaba las historias, porque nunca me gustó el happy end.
And what I remember doing was elongating or extending the stories because I never was completely satisfied with and they lived happily ever after.
Exacto. Y vivieron felices para siempre. En esa época, cuando era adolescente, un artista para mí era una persona sumamente excéntrica.
When I was a teenager, I thought an artist was a very eccentric person.
Una persona que no parecía compatible con el mundo real,
Somebody who didn't fit in the real world,
con el mundo práctico,
the practical world.
de tal manera que nunca me pasó por la cabeza ser un artista.
So it never even crossed my mind that to become an artist.
Y organizaba mi vida imaginablemente acerca de ser bióloga o doctora, porque también me apasionaban muchísimo las ciencias.
And so I organized my future life around the thought of becoming a lawyer or a scientist because I was also fascinated by science.
Luego decidí que mi primera elección era la literatura. Pues cuando tenía la edad de ustedes descubrí que la literatura era una vocación hermosísima que exigía un compromiso muy grande, un compromiso total.
It was around the time of your age that I discovered that literature was a wonderful vocation that demanded lots of responsibility.
Y lo que vengo a decirles aquí a ustedes hoy que es que los momentos vividos en espacios como este que ustedes tienen, en espacios mágicos de las escuelas de artes,
And what I've come to tell you today is that magical moments like the ones that you've been able to live in an art school,
donde hemos compartido con personas afines a nosotros todo el tiempo,
where we've been able to share with people side by side on a daily basis,
nos hace que nuestras mentes quieran quedarse en ese pasado y no queramos caminar hacia adelante.
can sometimes cause us to want to stay where we feel comfortable in those magical moments and keep us from wanting to move forward.
Muchos se deben estar preguntando todavía qué pasará mañana con los títulos de graduado que tienen bajo el hombro.
Many of you might be still asking what will happen tomorrow with the high school diploma that I'm about to receive.
Cuando salgan de aquí, estando lejos de la zona de confort,
When you leave when you're far from here, from your comfort zone,
en la que he estado la mayor parte de estos últimos años, dentro del círculo de lo conocido hasta ahora,
in the place that you've been a part of for so many years up till today,
en el círculo de lo cotidiano, del enfrentamiento con este u otro obstáculo para alcanzar el objetivo final que es llegar al día de hoy.
and leaving your daily life behind to face what's to come.
Y en este sentido los exhorto a ponerle luces al periodo que hemos concluido.
It is why I encourage you today to put the spotlight on the milestone that you've just accomplished.
A cada uno de los pasos que hemos dado desde el corazón para construir nuestra propia identidad dentro del arte.
For every step, I put the spotlight on every step that you've taken thus far to identify yourself within the arts.
Y confiamos que esas luces los conectarán de alguna manera con nuestro camino.
And trust that those lights will somehow connect us to this path.
Porque esas conexiones de los pasos que damos directamente desde el corazón es lo que nos llevan a disfrutar realmente el camino.
Because the connection to those steps that you take directly from the heart are the ones that are going to allow you to enjoy every step that is to come.
Y no importa cuáles sean sus oficios futuros, no importa lo que puedan decir las personas alrededor, lo que pueda decir el gobierno.
It doesn't matter what your future profession will be, what people say, what the people say that are around you, or what rules the government enforces.
Lo que dicten las leyes o cuántas cosas intentan ustedes mismos para frustrar su propio modo creativo.
Or whatever, what the laws dictate, or any obstacles that you put in your own way to stop you from achieving goals in the future within the arts.
Si en algún momento quieren salirse del camino del arte.
Or even if you dare to think that you no longer have a place in the arts.
Pues ya son artistas.
Because you already are artists.
Y como artistas van a pasar la vida intentando expresar lo inexpresable, lo abstracto, lo indefinido.
And as artists, you will go through life expressing the inexpressible, the abstract, the undefined.
Se van a pasar la vida buscando la quinta pata al gato.
You're always going to live life trying to find the fifth leg to the cat.
Y hay que vivir con eso.
And you have to live with such a mindset.
Hay que adaptarse a eso.
And you have to adapt to that way of thinking.
Y nuestros padres deberán entenderlo.
And your parents must understand that also.
Y sé que esa es una parte delicada del asunto. Recuerdo a mi madre tratando de leer todos los libros que dejaba en cada esquina.
And that's a delicate part of this life, because I remember my mother trying to read all the books that I would read everywhere.
Y es que, o sea, crecer, el crecimiento siempre es doloroso.
And growth always involves pain.
Y si uno es artista, a veces es un poquito más.
And if you happen to be an artist, sometimes that pain is even greater.
Y lo que les quiero decir también es que todos tenemos como cuando nacemos el modo creativo.
And what I want to also say is that we're all born with the ability to create, to be creative.
Y es como un botón que todos tenemos por acá.
And it's a button that's somewhere around here.
Algunas enfermeras lo ponen activo.
Some nurses activate it,
Otras no,
and some don't.
pero todos lo tenemos.
But we all have it.
Y si no lo tienen activo, por favor.
And if yours doesn't happen to be active, just find it.
Eh, quisiera que se detuvieran un momento en este sendero,
I would like you to stop for a moment in your path.
que comiencen a caminar hoy y comprendan que lo que siempre les va a acompañar en la vida va a ser el arte.
And always remember that the one thing that will be constant in your life is the arts.
Y lo pongo en letras mayúsculas porque el arte no es poesía, no es canción, no es música.
And I say this in big, bold, capital letters because art is not just poem, it's not just music,
No es solamente cine,
and it's not only film.
el arte es un modo de vida.
Art is a lifestyle.
Y hoy cerramos una puerta y abrimos otra puerta, pero en realidad las dos puertas están abiertas.
And today we close one door and another opens, but in reality both of those doors are open.
Y es importante dejar que el aire corra entre
It
ellas.
is important to allow the breeze to flow between both.
Y esa brisa de aire que fluye alrededor de ustedes está cargada siempre de creatividad.
And that breeze that continuously flows around you is infused with creativity.
Porque la creatividad es la mayor maleta que podemos llevar en todos nuestros viajes para ser felices.
Because creativity is the biggest piece of luggage you can carry around in your path to creating something new. And actually, Laura would like to share some of her musical talent with you by singing a song. But first, I would like to translate the poem that she's going to put into song. So please bear with me as I read this poem. Be happy is the title. Be happy and rejoice. If loneliness sickens your soul, if winter knocks at your window, don't get lost in the open wound. First, forget it and begin again. Breathe in new air, free of doubt. And if you find happiness, rejoice. Rejoice with the colors that you find in a butterfly. And fly through the lights that spring shines upon you. And allow the rain allow the rain to wet you head to toe. And play in the oceans of new creation. If you find happiness, then rejoice. Do not allow loneliness to sicken your soul.
Si la soledad te enferma el alma, si el invierno llega a tu ventana, no te abandones a la calma con la herida abierta. Mejor olvidas y comienzas una vida nueva y respira el aire puro, sin el vicio de la duda. Si un día encuentras la alegría de la vida, sé feliz, sé feliz, sé feliz. Con los colores de una mariposa, vuela entre las luces de la primavera. Si te imaginas que la lluvia te desnuda el alma, juega en los mares que despiertan a la luna y sé feliz, sé feliz, sé feliz. Si la soledad te enferma el alma, sé feliz.
was beautiful. Thank you. Our second keynote today is Christopher Johnson. He's no stranger to TAPA. We've got our own Providence Force, his tour de force of poetry, theater, music, storytelling, and activism. An internationally known poetry slam champion, Christopher is known for his constant evolving style that without complaint combines the experience, discord of his past, the wisdom of now, and the hope of the future to give voice to a universal message of human spark that connects us all. Christopher, please join us at the podium.
I have to find the right set of glasses. I have to say, this was not the easiest thing to think about, because well, first of all, thank you for the head of school, thank you TAPA students, thank you for the board members that are in the audience, thank you for having me. But when I started thinking about what it is I can possibly tell students that are about to step into a new stage of their life, I thought about what I wanted to know when I was your age. And that thing hit me where it was like, if I would have known then what I know now, you know? So I wrote down just, if something scares you, it's probably a good idea to do it. You don't have to know B through E, just know what the goal is, which is G, and where you're at is A, and even if you don't know the path, you get nowhere if you don't take the first step. So I did write you a speech. One of my favorite authors ever is a black woman sci-fi writer named Octavia Butler. The opening quote to her book, one of her books is, "All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change." When I was a child, I spent a lot of time in front of the television watching cowboy and war flicks. Everything from spaghetti westerns to John Wayne black and whites. From World War II to Vietnam, I knew two things when I was young. Soldiers and cowboys were heroes, and I wanted to be a hero. I didn't want to be any old kind of hero. I wanted to be a Marine, so much that in the 5th grade I filled out one of those armed services postcards you would find in magazines. I got a reply back from the major telling me my goals were admirable, but he had to deny my request at that particular time. I graduated high school at age 16, 2 years early. At 16, my neighborhood had gotten so bad the state troopers were called in to clean up the streets. I saw those uniforms, and at 16, I wanted to be a New Jersey State Trooper. What changed? All I had to do was wait out those 2 years to take the exam and pass the physical. Wait out those 2 years. And at age 17, I joined the Army. What changed? While I was in the Army, I could fly around the country for free as long as I flew from a military installation. On one of my trips, I shared a room in Virginia with a retired vet. We both were there for only the night and were flying out the next day. We had dinner, breakfast, and on our way to lunch, he stood me in front of the mirror in the hallway and said, "Look at that guy. That guy right there has no idea what he wants in life." Do you know that guy in front of you? Me, I replied. That guy right there in front of you is the source of all of your problems and the only one that can change them. That guy right there in front of you is the source of your happiness if he wants to be. And if I was you, I'd have a serious talk with that guy about being happy. He ended. What changed that made me go from wanting to be a Marine to a state trooper to joining the Army wasn't the people I came in contact with, but me. What I absorbed, I was changed by the environment I was subjected to. I once wrote that our thinking can be as limited as the borders we place on our bodies. It's no wonder after I left the Army, New Jersey was no longer a suitable place for me. I had grown beyond my former borders. I had been changed by all the things and places I've touched. My point is, you have to always be in a position to make changes. Look to the people to the left of you, to the right of you, in front of you, and in back of you. They have changed you, and you have changed them. You together have achieved greatness the greatness of never having to go through high school again. You take these changes that you have grown into and go out and change the world. In closing, I want to advise you, don't be good, be great. We all fall down, but how you get up is more important. And remember the words of that old vet I met in Virginia, that if you ever need an inspirational speech, go to the mirror and say, this person right here in front of me is the source of all of my problems, and the only one that can change them. This person in front of me is the source of my happiness. And I'm having a serious talk with you about my happiness. P.S. Last week I got to perform in front of 10,000 people. Right before I went on, I received a text message from a friend of a photo of a little boy standing next to a woman. The text message read, this kid just asked his mom, when do the heroes perform? I thought you should know.
I'd like to thank our guest speakers. Thank you so much. And now another inspiration from your lives. I'd like to ask Mrs. Richards-Hagenauer to come up to the microphone.
Before we give diplomas, which will happen in just a minute, I know that's why you're all here. Thank you, Canada. I won't talk too long. I just want to take a moment to address the class of 2017. I want you to know that we love you, that we are inspired by you, and that everything we have done at TAPA has been for you. I also want you to know that we know that you have survived and persevered things that we could not have survived ourselves. We know that you sitting here in front of us, it's not just that you've done enough credits in math and English, that you've kicked ass in your arts, that you've inspired us and excited us, but you have lived lives that lesser people would not have survived, and you have come out stronger. And so on behalf of all of the staff and faculty and arts and board of this school, I want to thank you for everything you put in to get here, because not everybody could have done it, and you did. So you owe yourselves a round of applause. To begin our diploma ceremony, I would like to ask the dance majors to please stand. Our first graduate, Jonabel De Jesus. Edward Walker. Giovanna Gill.
Stop, man, stop.
Everly Rodriguez. Ladies, will you please stand, and can we have one more round of applause for our class of 2017 dance majors. I would like to ask the class of 2017 film majors. First up, we have Alexis Cepeda. Humberto Guzman. Jose Jimenez. David Manzaba. Xavier Merced. Adriel Oviedo. Nancy Perez. Shadell Perez. Kiara Bell. Austin Waller. I'd like all the film majors and Mr. Marcoux to stand. One last round of applause for our 2017 film majors. Up next, I I would like to ask our music majors to please. First up, we have Janiyah Brown. Matthias Facienda. Ryan Guzman. Shelby Hopkins. Juan Reyes. Antonio Rodriguez. Nevi Saban. And Odyssey Scott. I'd like to ask Mr. Dodd, Mr. David, Mr. Who else is here? Ms. Azriel, Ms. Murdoch. I love Miss Melissa too, but she doesn't teach music. Miss Portia and all of the music majors, so please stand for one final round of applause. Last but certainly not least, Jeremiah, this is not a way in which we neglect you. I would like to ask the theater majors to stand. Up first, we have Asher Koto. Jasmine Lopez. Jeremiah Matos. Theater majors to stand. One last round of applause for theater majors. So now that you are the only high school graduates in the state of Rhode Island with a high school major, nobody else does it, just us. So now that you have achieved that, I hand the microphone over to the woman who got you all into college and helped you figure out how to pay for it.
Congratulations, everyone. We can't wait to see the amazing things you go on to do, and just remember, whatever it is, we are always here for you. Now, very exciting occasion, you're going to turn your tassel from one side to the other.